Welcome back to Business Review. I'm having a conversation with two gentlemen around the mining sector and sustainability thereof, speaking to Stephen Meintjes to my left and Happy Nkhoma on my right. He's from Lonmin, and Stephen Meintjes is from Imara SP Reed. Gentlemen, let's continue our conversation. I just wanted to ask you, what kind of impact do you think the new minister, Mr. Ramatloti, has had on the mining sector? Does he give a positive kind of feel to the sector?
Yeah, he's come through as a person who's very hands-on and who is also approachable and who engages. I mean, we've had a series of meetings with him, not only as Lonmin, but as the sector from when he came in. So he wants to relate to the industry, and I think he has a history of having been a very good manager when he was a premier. So he's come in with that hands-on approach, and that's quite helpful. I think I'm praying that with time the relationship will go to where mines are seen as part of this economy, not as the evil big brother that just takes and leaves.
Stephen, do markets like him?
Yes, I think early impressions are favourable.
All right. On the issue of platinum itself as an underlying commodity, what's its prognosis? Because we often hear that it's, there's lots of recyclable material out there, and palladium can be used as an alternative. What's its long-term future?
Well, talking about sustainability, that is the balancing act that has to be done. The question of the cost of recycling platinum against the cost of mining, and that is one of the things that we've got to watch, because for countries like us, we are not a recycling country. I'm talking globally as well. We're a mining country, so for us it is important that we always keep the cost of mining lower than the recycling, so that we keep it attractive, because that's where the jobs are. And just the three big companies that are on strike, we're talking over 130,000 workers. That is quite a huge number. So that is really the future that we all are watching.
Stephen, I won't get you to answer that question. I want to talk about mechanization. During and after the strike, there was a lot of talk about, mines are going to mechanize. How easy is it to mechanize in platinum? And how do mining houses balance that against the need to obviously employ people?
Well, my take on the gold and platinum mines is that very often the seams are too narrow to use conventional mechanization, and that is why very often they've stayed with the older methods. But the kind of technology which AngloGold Ashanti is leading is very new age, and there are huge gains in safety as well as productivity, which we as a country would be foolish to ignore, and introduce gradually and sensibly over time. It would be to the benefit of all.
Happy, I wouldn't want to push you, but what are your views on mechanization?
My views on mechanization, I think Lonmin's views on mechanization is that, one, it's not something that can happen overnight, and I think as Steve has explained, there is innovation out there. Those questions were asked during this debilitating strike that we had. But the reality is that we still going to see a lot of manual and mining that goes on. We are also watching to see what kind of innovation comes through, but it's not here. It's not going to be with us in the next couple of years. But at the same time, what does that call for? It will call for better skills and higher skills. So in the long run, better introduced and well managed, mechanization is not an evil. It is actually something useful, because it brings in technology. I mean, the advent of the cell phones did away with the old telephone phones that you were winding. But we see more technicians out there. We see more technology being rolled out. So that's what technology does, and that's what innovation does. But the skill level has to go with it.
Gentlemen, unfortunately, that's all of the time we have. Thank you very much for your time. That was Stephen Meintjes. He's from Imara SP Reed, and Happy Nkhoma from Lonmin. That's it from Business Review. Thank you very much for joining us. Before we go, though, we have a very interesting insert that wraps